Antigua to me was culturally and socially totally different from the United States. What I got from it is that people, no matter what creed, color, they all was laid back socially and economically. They were stress free. So that is how I want to be when I retire, relaxed and laid back.
Well, where could I really begin? But it was really a wonderful trip. We came as individuals, but we left as a more cohesive unit. The trip was absolutely fabulous. We really learned that the island has a lot more than meets the eye. It really was a central port of a lot of historic events that took place not only in America but across the world, just as the slave trade and the sugar plantations and different agricultural aspects that were actually began there or caused another process that happened on all different places around the world. But it was just a very, very intriguing trip. And I'm really thankful that I was able to be a part of this trip. And I thank Southwest and all the administration for their support and help in actually picking me to go on this trip. I really will take everything that I've learned on this trip and use it as another part of my life.
What I learned on the trip to Antigua is, I guess the people are carefree. It is a very diverse place. They seem to be more relaxed, stress-free. Everyone seems to have a lot of things going on as far as working, whether it's doing airport security, bus drivers, whether it's selling pineapples or mangoes on the street. And what I've learned from them is to basically just be more relaxed. Don't really, I really don't care what people think about you, and just do you and just live life.
I've never experienced such trip before. I've learned a lot about the Antigua, about Antigua people, about the island, about the nature of the island. I've learned a lot about slavery, Caribbean slavery and Caribbean Marines. I've learned a lot about plants on the island, about fish and turtles. I've been in the diverse society. I've never been in such society before.
What I'm going to take away from this trip is not to assume. When I first hopped on the plane to go to Antigua, I had every assumption in my head of what it was going to be like, what the people were going to be like, what the housing was going to be like, but I didn't really understand it until I actually experienced it, that things are not always what they seem. The people there, they might be wealthy, but you don't know it. You know, you might think someone is a tourist, but you don't actually know it until you speak to them. So the thing that I'm going to take away from it is not to assume, and it's helped me to grow and become a better person.
And your final thought?
Okay, my reflections on the trip is that you can't, to sum it all up in a couple of words, is you can't judge a book by its cover, and buying into stereotypes is totally wrong. Before I went on the trip, I had these preconceived notions that I was going to see certain things like a poverty-stricken area and maybe a high-income area. But in Antigua, you cannot separate people based on their outward appearance, because everyone looks the same, drives the same type of car, and their houses are within the same area. Our bus driver, which in America you may think of a bus driver as having a middle-class person, but he actually owned half the island. But if you would look at him and judge him by his outward appearance, you would think that you had this impoverished guy driving you around. And that holds true for the whole island. As far as their facilities, and we visited a college, everything was more on a higher scale than on a higher scale than the U.S. Everything's clean, the people are friendly. Even the public restrooms are just 100% clean. It's just a whole lot better. It was more than I expected, and I'd like to thank Southwest for this opportunity.
Airport, and we have had a wonderful I mean, a wonderful time. We've learned so much about Antigua that it is really a place that makes you want to come back and revisit just with family members to just know the history of their slavery and how the island came about and all the connecting islands. This was just really interesting. Everything that we did, from the boat trip to Betty's Hope to Nelson's Dockyard, all of it played a very vital role in tying together with the history of the island. So I have enjoyed this immensely. I will be able to go back and share this adventure with family and friends and the people that I speak with in Junior Achievement. So this has truly been an experience that most of the people I know probably will never experience. So I'm glad that I was selected to go, and I will never forget. Hopefully this won't be my last trip.